Good evening and welcome back, poetry lovers. It is I, ZM Wise, and here we are with Mr. Tevin Church. He's going to tell us just a little bit about himself, what he does with the arts community and in the field of creation. So, Tevin, just give us a brief overview about yourself and your medium of creation.
Well, just regarding myself, I originally come from Virginia. Lived in Louisiana for about 6 years, and then I moved here. I've been here for about 3 years in Houston area. As far as creation is concerned, I've been writing and drawing since I was pretty small, but recently I tend to put more of my creative output into my creative input rather into just writing lyrics, just because it's something that I started in high school, and it's just I kept building upon it. As far as poetry is concerned, I do have a couple lyrical pieces that were published as a poem, but I tend to do just free verse and just match the lyrics with the beat. But I mean, I'm open to all the arts. I enjoy a lot of the arts. I love, again, I love like the art in comic books, and I just like literature in general, and I get a lot of inspiration just from mediums outside of just music.
Brilliant, brilliant. Who or what are some of your largest influences, and how do they help shape your work?
Let me see, because there's a web of influences that I usually go to. If you want to start with music, I like very lyrical, like artists in general. I like people like, just the names. I like Logic as far as newer school people. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, obviously. A little older school, Eminem, Tupac, Shakur, people like that. But I don't just listen to hip hop music. I also enjoy like post-hardcore music. People like Alexis on Fire, Dance Gavin Dance. So, but I grew up listening to a wide variety of genres as well. As far as just artistic influences, I also play a lot of video games, which gives me gives me a lot of makes my mind go to different places, uses therapy and also as influence. Um, People like Hideo Kojima, somebody I look up to, Hideki Kamiya, and just writers in general. I like Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, also very fantastic. I like fantastic elements, and you can hear that a lot in my music as well. So just elements of fantasy. I also read like comic books, like manga. So Ichiro Oda, like One Piece, stuff like that. Very bright, very. I believe in synesthesia, just like how sound can be interpreted as like colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm attracted to bright color palettes, and when I write lyrics, I try to think of the lyrics as like color palettes. That's how I shape it.
Wow, that's awesome. Hendrix went through the same exact thing, and especially when he heard certain sounds that the guitar made, he's like, "Oh, this right here, that's yellow."
Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant. Um, so when you started dropping beats, like how does it form in your head, and how do you expel that onto Z machines?
How? Well, it forms in my head. The process, since I've been doing it, again, I've been writing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And inspiration will just come. I think the most important part is just to be inspired, because there's writing for the sport, and then there's just writing, just creatively, and just like imagery. And I think the difference in the both is that the intention behind it. So you can write for the sport, and that can get build up technique, but mostly I just wait for inspiration to hit, because otherwise it'll just sound forced, and I don't like anything that sounds forced.
Yeah.
But it's just, but I think that's mostly what it boils down to as far as the process is concerned. Usually it would take me longer depending on the song or how the beat is structured. Like, just I count out the bars, and then I'll write accordingly, and then I'll see how the chorus sounds. But I like really dynamic beats. If it's something simple, it won't take me long, maybe about an hour, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes less than that. But if it's something complicated, I can spend days, weeks, sometimes months on it. But usually I can get my process down in maybe about spend 3 days.
That's absolutely brilliant. Can you tell us, for some of your large fans out there, where can we find your work?
You can find it on Soundcloud, mostly. I go by the name of Arete Ray. It's A-R-E-T-E space R-H-E-I on SoundCloud. It's Greek, means excellent flows. But that's where most of my work is. I'm trying to upload as much as I can. Process sometimes goes a little slow, but that's where you can find most of my stuff at.
And what about, I heard you say once before, you are on YouTube, but you are all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place, and I have been on YouTube since I could remember YouTube was a thing. It was back in like 05.
Wow.
So I've got like several different YouTube accounts. So if you, sometimes you'll see music on one, not on the other, but there's a bunch of YouTube. If you type in Arete Ray, you'll probably find it. Or just Tevin Church, you might find some music. But I have multiple accounts. It's a mess.
That is brilliant. How long have you been going by Arete Ray?
I've been going by Arete Ray for about, I want to say maybe 3-4 years.
Nice. And how did it find you?
Well, I grew up in a household all about preaching, education, and Greco-Roman culture. I know a lot about it. Just the Odyssey, Homer. I know. I've been Greek. My father was into Greek culture and just history. He was a history buff. So I learned a lot of that from him, and also from my mom. Just as far as just education, she was a teacher. So that's where a lot of that influence comes as far as the name and stuff is concerned. Big fan of it.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. What was your personal opinion about the Odyssey?
The Odyssey? I thought the Odyssey was brilliant. It's basically it's an epic poem. I like epic poems. I kind of structure my stuff like epic poems. I don't know how. I guess I know how to write in verses and stanzas. It's kind of harder for me to write like a fleshed out story. But I can write in like verses and stanzas. But the Odyssey is brilliant. It's a classic, time-tested classic, and it's just a tale. It's a coming of age tale, but it's not really coming of age because Odysseus is already a man.
Right.
But it's very fantastic. You could say it's almost like the first fantastic world, like the precursor to something like Tolkien, Lord of the Rings.
Definitely, and it's great, and with Tolkien, he made up his own universe in general, like and it's what they call high fantasy.
Yep.
It's absolutely amazing. So, with the remaining time that we have, would you care to share one or two pieces with us?
Sure. Let me see what I can do.
All right.
Sometimes the best efforts go unnoticed, and the weakest of the hearts is the one that's chosen. Can you blame a creator though for giving the favor to a mongoose to go toe-to-toe with the co? Bruh, you must know that a snake has no place in the hearts of men. When drakes become grapes, they can't escape the weights of fates to get ate in the bellies of the beasts they bake. Yo's and throws the death adders, the climbs of step ladders to find the next chapters. Your mind's a nice map of the laughters you shared with those you cared for. The next door won't open without force, and orbs of stone knockers. A man's equipped proper amends to no options or means to no problems. Often the deaf are left with no breath, but it seems that it's all for the best. And then ask for this. Thought that raps made no sense, only now hypocritically dispensed. List of words of my gifts unexpectedly. Slit wrist with slick wit, steel weaponry. My apologies if I go over your head or leave your tubs red with blood baths. I said don't unbox the lunch, allow cap to punch you drunk with break bread and braid in the bunch.
Oh, yes. Yes. One more, please, I beg of you.
Let me see. Won't blink, just hear the beat and lose sleep, don't think. I'll drink the pool that's too deep, can't sink or reminisce, but lost thoughts bring bliss and dreams will spring underneath. The casket turns as we feed the worms. I'm not concerned since I have no fear. Hear the sounds of doubt will ring clear, go near. You might find something else about yourself that you might not like. Won't fight the fates on what you love to hate. Blow smoke, go ghost like a token black with this baseball cap turned backwards after batting average. Laughter made him lavish dapper. Brand new clothes, let me feed the matrix. I close my eyes and still see the hatred. When it rains, it pours. I never snore, I'm born. Such a gracious morning, hear the reaper yawning. I'm not conforming till you feel my torment. It's a torrent that turns the shorelines to porridge. Like a perfect storm, the breeze of heathens. I wish love was in season. It could be the reason. May my restless soul become a tested beacon. You can have my heart before it falls apart. Footsteps in the dark, where art thou when lost?
Oh, oh.
I messed up a little bit, but sometimes it's not.
I couldn't tell.
It's not perfect.
Could not tell. Could not tell. Hey, there you have it, people. Mr. Tevin Church, also known as Arity Ray. You can find him on YouTube, Soundcloud, and if you are out of town, fly your tush over here to witness him on the stage. And he's definitely getting out there. And thank you very much for being here, sir.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Poetry lives.